learn more about the complex tissue, and this will understand more about the complex connective tissue. Now here we are going to understand the complex tissue. We know that the complex tissue is made up of more than one type of cells, and all these cells, they are working together. So there was a girl called as Ritu who was roaming in a museum with her family. She saw a skeleton of the dinosaur. She asked her father how the bones, muscles and organs in our body are held together. Her father explained that there is some special type of tissue which help to bind and support the organs in our body. There are different types of tissues present in the body which carry out different functions. The connective tissue consists of matrix, that is the intercellular substance in it. There are cells embedded in the matrix. The nature, density and amount of matrix, it differs depending on the function of the particular connective tissue. There are numerous flat irregular tissues with stellate processes which are called as the fibrocytes. These cells, they secrete fibers and matrix. They also repair cuts in the body tissue. The matrix can be jelly-like, fluid, dense or hard, that is rigid. This can be explained from different types of connective tissue which is given below. Let's understand the different types of connective tissue. The first is bone, blood, ligament, tendon, cartilage, areolar and the adipose tissue. Let us see and understand them one by one. Now we'll first see bone. Bone is a special type of skeletal kind of connective tissue. It forms the supporting framework of the body. Our body is held in a proper framework, or it has a proper definite shape because of the bone. The bones, they anchor the muscles and they support the main organs of our body. It is very strong and non-flexible tissue. You cannot bend your bone, it can break. Bone cells, they are embedded in the hard matrix that is composed of calcium and phosphorus compounds. This is the matrix of the bone cells. Now we are going to see a connective tissue that transports oxygen, carbon dioxide, nutrients, excretory material and other important things in our body from head to toe. Now this connective tissue is blood. Yes, correct. Blood is a fluid connective tissue. It flows through blood vessels. It consists of plasma, that is 55 to 60% is of plasma, and there are 40 to 45 cellular elements which are present in the blood, like the red blood corpuscles, the white blood corpuscles, the blood platelets which are suspended. You can see in the diagram the yellow straw color fluid, that is plasma. See, if you take the blood and if you centrifuge it, the fluid part that remains, which is of yellow color and which forms the maximum 60%, is the plasma. It is a pale yellow colored fluid. It has water, ions, proteins, nutrients, waste and gases. The plasma, it travels in blood vessels and it transports organic and inorganic substances. Whereas the other cellular part, that is, when you centrifuge, the one part you will get is of pale yellow color and the other will be the red part. The red cellular part consists of red blood corpuscles, the white blood corpuscles and the platelets. The red blood corpuscles, they are also called as the erythrocytes. They make up to 40 to 45% of the composition. An adult human being has around 25 to 30 trillions of RBCs. They are red in color because they contain a pigment called as hemoglobin. It is an iron containing protein and the shape of RBC is biconcave in shape and appears dumbbell shape. The main role of RBC is it takes oxygen from the lungs and releases carbon dioxide back into the lungs. Then comes the white blood cells. The white blood cells, they are also called as the leukocytes. An adult human has around 4,500 to 10,000 white blood cells per cubic millimeter of blood. The WBCs, they have nucleus and are colorless. The main role is to provide immunity against disease. They are like the defense soldiers of our body. They defend the body against infection with the help of antibodies. Antibodies are nothing but they are proteins which are produced by lymphocytes against specific germs. So this WBCs, they protect the bodies from the germs or pathogens. Next is platelets. Platelets, they are also called as thrombocytes. These platelets, they are irregular component and smaller than RBCs. The platelets, they release factors, that is whenever you have any cut or any injury, your blood keeps on coming out. So there comes a time, even if you don't put anything like turmeric, or even if you don't apply cotton or any antiseptic, the flow of blood will stop. Why? Because there are platelets. The platelets, they contain or they release factors which are called as thromboplastin, which helps in the clotting of blood. This thromboplastin or thrombokinase, they have calcium which activates the prothrombin which is present in the plasma to thrombin, because of which the insoluble fibrinogen gets converted to fibrin and they trap the RBCs which form a clot in your blood. The other kind of fluid is lymph. As blood flows in the capillaries, the plasma and WBCs, they leak out their walls. Okay, suppose there is a pipeline through which the blood is flowing, but then that pipeline breaks. So what happens is there is a leakage. The plasma and WBCs, they start leaking from this pipe and then they form a fluid. This fluid which is getting leaked is what is called as tissue fluid or lymph. Next is ligament. Ligament, it connects bones and is very elastic with considerable strength. That is, it connects bone to bone. Ligaments, they contain very little matrix. It serves to hold the structures together and it helps them to keep stable. So it's very important for the ligament to be have a healthy function. Is tendon. Tendon is a kind of dense connective tissue. They give strength and toughness to the tissue. Tendons, they connect muscles to bone, and as we saw that ligaments, they connect bone to bone, whereas tendons, they connect muscles to bone. Both ligament and tendon, they are a kind of dense connective tissue. They are actually helping the tissues to attach to the muscle or either to the bone. They are fibrous. The tendons are fibrous with great strength, but they have limited flexibility. Tendons, they serve or they help to move the bones or structure. For example, when you're lifting the dumbbell and you're moving your muscles, there you have tendons because it is connecting your bones to your muscles. For example, in human beings also, the muscles of your calf, they are attached to your heel bone with the help of the tendons which are present. Cartilage, its cells, they are widely spaced, they are away from each other. They have a solid matrix which is composed of proteins and sugars. Cartilage generally smoothens the bone surface at the joints. It is present in your nose, at your tongue, ear, pinna, trachea and larynx. So cartilage, they are smooth muscles. Next is the areolar tissue. Areolar tissue is kind of soft and gel-like connective tissue with some elasticity. It is generally found between skin and muscles, around blood vessels, nerves, and in the bone marrow. It holds the interstitial fluids, that is the fluid which is flowing between the cells, and carries and delivers nutrients or waste. It also helps or it facilitates the passage for molecules. It fills the space inside your organs. It supports your internal organs and it helps in repair of the tissue. It wraps and cushions organ and is widely distributed under the skin of the body. In similar pattern, apart from the areolar, we have the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue are kind of fat tissues which are required to protect our organs and helps to maintain our body temperature. Major cell type found in the body is the adipocytes. That is, they help to maintain our body temperature. The more the fat tissues inside the body, the more you will feel less heat inside your body. So it helps you to keep yourself warm.